Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. Let's jump into Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is episode 15. I know I didn't review last week. I think I said it over on my Bell Collective. I was a whole week off. I don't want to explain it all again. I just will apologize for being a whole week off with Love and Marriage Huntsville. I know with Bell Collective, I reviewed both episodes in the same day. Even though the episodes Love and Marriage Huntsville, to me right now, is one of the best reality TV shows on television right now, as far as real drama, not stuff for production. I just didn't want to go back and review it because I have so much to say about last week's episode, and I feel like this week is just a spillover. So when I make my point of view this week, is really reflecting last week anyway. So that's why I'm just going to jump off here, apologizing for skipping last week, but you will still get my 2 cents on what I felt about last week. And I will be on time going forward. I'm really going to do my best. It's tax season, y'all. You know, I'm an accountant. I do accounting, government accounting, 9 to 5, and then I do taxes on the side. And so it's just the busiest time of the year for me. But moving on, let's get into it. We're going to open up to the scene when Marcus, Mel's brother, is telling Martell that his partner, Troy, I believe it's his husband, or I don't know, I can't remember, but his partner the kids told his partner they wish that he was their daddy, and Marcus tells this to Martell. Let's wrap this up in a bow. This is probably the only time in the history of this show I will side with Martell. Number one, I believe them kids said it. I do believe it because once we get to the end of the episode, we'll see why. But even if those kids said that, you knew those were fighting words. You just can't. I don't care how mad you are at Martell. I don't care how much of a disappointment of a husband and a father that you think that he is. He's at an event with his children. This is not the time or the place to be throwing in his face. That's why your kids said they wished my husband was their daddy. That's not the time or the place. Now, I understand your beef. Martell said something out the way to them children, I believe last week, about, I don't even know what Melanie said. It was a telephone group, but you took offense to it. I would too if that really went down where he said something out the way to the children about your sexuality. But it wasn't the time or the place for that. And you knew when you said that to Martell, it was to rile him up. And you knew he was going to be like, that's why I'm going to beat your motherfucking ass. It was funny to me how Martell put his tail between his legs and walked away when a man stepped to him like, what's up? Because Marcus was not scared of Martell. But you want to jump big and bad with Miss Wanda, and you want to be held back and do all of this with an older lady. Because I'm not going to call Miss Wanda like no senior. I'm putting my phone on do not. It is on do not disturb. I hope it doesn't start ringing. Sometimes that do not disturb doesn't work. But as Miss Wanda says later on in the episode, she the same age as these ladies. Like, remember, she had Tisha when what? She was 14, 15. I'm not going to look at Miss Wanda like no senior. Miss Wanda can get it. Miss Wanda can get it. It ain't our fault you had your baby so young that you in the same friend category age as her friends. You can get it, Miss Wanda. Even though Martell shouldn't jump to your face. But let's move on from that because Martell grabbed the kids and he left. Now it's time for Tisha to bring up the bullshit that she says, because I wrote it down. She want to tell Maurice about Saturday. I didn't write down the whole conversation, but pretty much Tisha just wants an opportunity to talk about how she felt they treated her mother at this party to Maurice. Because Tisha is like, you really got to tell Maurice? And she's like, Kimmy, we good. Like, we good. I just want to tell Maurice. So if you so good, why you get so angry and walk away? Now, last week, y'all know Wanda came and fucked up I'm trying not to curse as much, came and messed up Jalen's graduation celebration. She wanted to confront Martell. She wanted to tell Melanie she can find another man. It's going to be all right. She didn't have to do all of that. Wanda was there to start shit. Carlos put the battery in her back and said, you got to start earning these checks. So Tisha wants to bring it up. No, Destiny was the one who brought it up. Well, what about Wanda gonna be there? Marceau, to me, Marceau is backpedaling, and as they say on Drag Race, backpedaling and pussy popping. Because last week, he had a brunch with Kimmy where he was in agreement with Kimmy that Wanda was out of line. Wanda's attitude is going to get her not invited to stuff. Yeah, she not going to be banned, but she going to be sanctioned. Like Marceau, and they showed the rewind. Marceau was the one saying all this. But now in front of Tisha and Maurice, he making it seem like Kimmy, like, well, you know your mama going to be banned. Kimmy want to ban her from future events. And now they want to go over the semantics of sanction or whatever. Like, look, at the end of the day, your mama was not invited to the party. Kimmy was nice enough to greet her and allow her to sit down and eat food that she did not prepare to pay for Wanda to eat. And that's what Wanda should have did. She should have congratulated Jalen and sat down and stayed in her place. But no, she wanted to start mess. And if it was me, if I was Kimmy, I would have asked Wanda to leave. And I would have took it a step further. And I said, well, since you want to invite your mama, you and your mama could leave. So Marceau, no, what happened next? At some point, Kimmy is saying, like, you invited your mom, but you could have at least texted me and let me know that your mother was coming. Because Kimmy was caught all the way off guard. I believe Marceau was too. Like, ain't nobody know Wanda was coming. And so Tisha is like, why should I have to? Tisha is the most unreasonable person to talk to. She's very childish. And I know she says she in college right now, but she acts like she only has this middle school education. She does not have an ounce of common sense. And she's the type of person where if it's not going her way, she's willing to look the complete ass to be right. Because what do you mean? Why do I have to text you and let you know somebody's coming? That's like me saying, do I have to text you and let you know I'm bringing my kids if it's a function? And I'm like, bitch, yes, you definitely better text me if you bringing some kids if it's an adults-only function. That, to me, that's worse than inviting your mama. To me. That's one thing I don't play with. I love my son and I love being around children, my niece and nephew, all of them. But if it's an adults-only function and I didn't say bring your kids and you show up with your 3-4 kids, you will be asked to leave. You will be turned around because we're not about to ruin our good time and about to have to act all PG-13 because you ain't got no babysitter. I don't like Tisha. I was really trying, and somebody else said it on YouTube. I can't remember who said it. They said it a while ago. The beef between Tisha and Mel and why Tisha don't want Kimmy talking to Mel and all that, it's so far gone. I don't even remember how it started. I don't even remember the ins and outs of why Tisha and Mel are feuding and arguing with each other. So at some point, Marceau want to go back to the greeting. Well, okay, Wanda wasn't there, but you still were disrespectful to her in the greeting. And I've already explained that Wanda should be happy I allowed her to sit down and have a plate. And so now Kimmy says how she greeted her, like she said, oh, Tisha must have invited you. And then her husband fixed his lips to say, well, oh, Kimmy, as you say it right now, it did sound a little bit rude. I wouldn't have slapped him, but I would have cussed his ass out. Like, not today, sir. Not today. And they love to throw in there, but we family. And I would have had to remind Kimmy, that's your family. That's your mama. That's not my mama. We not related by blood. That ain't even my mother-in-law. That's your mother. That ain't even the Scott's mom. I'm like, these people flip-flop back and forth so much. Kimmy brings up the point, Because now Tisha was like, well, if there's an event, I guess you and my mama can't be in the same event together. And she was like, no, me and your mother isn't the problem. The problem is your mama with the Holtz, with Martell and Mel. And she's like, so I guess I can't invite Martell and Mel to any events. And I'm like, she was like, you weren't going to invite them no way. Check and mate. Now, Tisha she ain't smart enough. I mean, she really don't have nothing to argue back, but she definitely ain't smart enough to come back with the clap back. So she walks off. She leaves. Bye. Girl, bye. Why you ain't take your husband with you? Because Marceau was still over here arguing about was the greeting disrespectful or not. Forget all of them. I just can't stand none of them. Now Melanie is in the booth singing. Melanie, you got an okay voice. You got an okay voice. You know, if Candy ever turn around and have another stage play out there in the ATL, you can go out there and sing with Candy. But we don't want to hear no more sad love songs. And definitely not that one. You definitely lost me when you were talking about in text before you pick up the kids. I said, no ma'am. No ma'am. The whole point of this was I don't want to go back and forth with the brother. I already said how I felt about what that brother did at the party. We all wanted to know why was Marcus there and not Mel. Mel decided not to show up, but she told Marcus to meet her up there. Girl, you wrong for not at least texting. It don't take nothing. You might not want to talk to nobody. I understand. But we have this great invention called the text. It was the best thing ever created, but I don't know who did it. Where when you can let somebody know how you feel, what you want, what you need, and you don't have to say a word to them. You ain't got to answer. All you have to do was text your brother, I don't feel like seeing Martell. I ain't going. Bam. Done. I'm sure your brother would have saved his costume. It's over. And it was funny that they were in the same costume. I feel like production gave them both the same costume to wear. I don't know, but... And we could fast forward through the rest. Like, Mel, you could have texted that man. What happened next? Wanda is at the house babysitting, and not only does she have Tisha's kids, she got a whole bunch of other grandkids over there too. I guess that's what grandmothers do. I definitely ain't no damn grandmother yet. I don't want to be babysitting a whole bunch of kids, but Lord, we'll get there when we get there. Whatever Wanda cooked looked good. I definitely wanted some of them greens. Marceau want to talk to Wanda. Wanda said, bring it on. What you got to say? I like Miss Wanda. Like, I really do. She has a personality that is reality TV gold, because at the end of the day, we watch reality TV for the mess. But I just can't take her. Like, I just can't take, like, she do too much. Like, when she come with some quick one-liners, and when she was reading Marceau down, because we can't stand Marceau ass, that's when I could take Miss Wanda. But sometimes you got to mind your business. And I'm going to say this about No, let's get into it first. Let's get into it. Wanda admits to why she showed up to this party. She said, I showed up because I knew Martell was going to be there, and I knew I wasn't going to see him for a long while, so I showed up because I needed to let Martell have it. I had to get some stuff off my chest. So Wanda showed up to the party for the shits. She didn't care nothing about Jalen graduation. She didn't care nothing about celebrating Maurice graduating from law school. Wanda admitted in this scene she was there for the shits. She knew Martell was going to be there, and she wanted to give it to him. So she got what she got, and that's why she don't need to be invited to nothing else. Because my event is not for that. Huntsville is not that big. If you want to find Martell, go on over there to Arion House or go on over there to Holton Holt. He probably at one of the two places. Now Wanda is back. Wanda doing her back pedal. She said she really had to talk to Mel because God put some on her heart. And I said, don't put God in this. Don't do that. I can't stand when people want to come to you with some bullshit and say, well, God put this on my heart. And I'm like, the God I serve, whatever he wants me to know, he'll put it on my own heart. He ain't got to put it on your heart to get it to me. I got my own discernment. So now she flipping it again, and her event wouldn't have been messed up if she didn't invite Martell, because she the one who brought evil to the table. Now I agree, Kimmy. I don't know why you would invite Mel and Martell. I do feel like Mel and Martell would have been on their best behavior, because when Martell showed up, Mel did exit herself from the event to kind of, I don't want to start no confusion, so I'm going to leave. Wanda the one who jumped it off. But I wouldn't have invited both of them either. And I don't understand. You ain't that cool with the Scotts. This was, we also got to put reality TV in it too. We also making TV. If it's that true of a celebration for my son and it was that big of a deal, I'm not inviting the hosts. I'm not. Because one, it would have been, it's coronavirus. Two, it's a family event. And like, when I get ready in May, when I get ready to have my son graduation party, it ain't going to be no confusion. I'm not inviting nobody it's still going to be coronavirus. So it's definitely going to be immediate family. And it's nobody coming to the party that is going to have an inkling of confusion. Because it's my son's day. And if you mess it up, me and you going to have a problem. Yeah, it's going to be some disrespect. I done waited 18 years of mothering for this moment, for my child. You're not about to mess it up. Now, Kim, this was college, which is even a bigger accomplishment. But let's keep moving through the bullshit Wanda and what is his name? Marcel talking about. This is funny to me, because now Marcel is explaining to Wanda that, well, I agree with you a little bit. You was too much, but Kimmy didn't have to disrespect you when she greeted you. I felt like when Marcel said that, Wanda didn't feel disrespected by Kimmy's greeting. Now he just put another battery in Wanda's back for Kimmy. I feel like Wanda didn't feel disrespected by that at all. Y'all felt disrespected. Y'all want to have something. And Marcel, it ain't even your fight. You just speaking out the dumb words of Tisha, and you should be smarter than that. I thought you were smarter than your wife. Kimmy tells Marcel, Wanda tells Marcel, look, you ain't got to worry about sticking up for me with Kimmy. Kimmy is my age. I can handle Kimmy. And I do probably believe, because I know Kimmy is a little bit older than Maurice, I do probably believe that they are probably the same age, probably but a 5-6 year difference. Because remember, Wanda had Tisha young. That's why, I don't know who said it, and I don't condone no violence. I think Marceau said it a couple of episodes ago. You can't argue with Wanda. You just either going to have to hit her in her mouth or walk away. Kimmy, that's what you're going to have to do. What else did they talk about? So now he tells Wanda, well, you sanctioned from all the events. And she's like, sanctioned? What the hell is that? I'm like, see, you can't argue with stupid people. You can't even even if you don't know what sanction is, you can't even put it together in the context of the conversation that we're having to conclude to what you think sanction may be. Like, bitch, you banned. You not invited. But hell, she don't know what banned or sanction mean, because she wasn't invited to this event and she still showed her ass up. So now they arguing with each other now. Wanda done told Marceau, I don't even like your ass. And Marceau done told her, well, you 90% fresh water, because you really a nice person, but you 90% fresh water and 10% piss. I said, look, I would have cussed Marceau ass out. They deserve each other. They really do. I don't like Marceau. I love when Miss Wanda give it to Marceau. And she was like, look, I'm here for my grandkids. I don't give a damn about you. If my grandkids wasn't here, I wouldn't be here. And so I would have just politely asked her to go home. I'm like, look, well, I'm here now. You can go take these other grandkids of yours and you can go home. That would have been me. You're not going to disrespect me in my own house. We're gonna fast forward through the camping scene when they shopping for stuff. I don't care nothing about that. It's just a repeat of Martell complaining about Mel. So Melanie takes the kids to the pumpkin patch, and I thought this was the cutest scene. They were doing little fun races. She had a little baby in her arms the whole time. I said, just a beautiful family. A beautiful family. At the end of the day, they get their pumpkins. They meet up with Miss Ima. I like Ima. Ima, are you a counselor? The way you counseled those kids just for this brief moment, amazing to me. You work wonders with children, and they showed a little bit of how you counsel Melanie. Counseling is your thing, girl. I hope this wasn't something you just something you just did for a scene. I hope you continue getting these children counseling through this divorce process and even after, because especially that youngest one, the oldest one, they're going to need it because it's some bullshit going on. I miss having a conversation with the children, just asking them in general, now that we're friends, how do you feel about, no, Mariah, the oldest one, said, well, why your son live with the dad? And she was like, well, we're divorced. And they're like, oh, y'all go back and forth. And she was like, yeah, kind of like, and she was like, yeah, me and my mom, because I'm telling you, Malia is the star of the siblings. Malia is the star of the siblings. And so Ami was like, well, do you like going back and forth? And she was like, ugh. I'm like, she don't like it. And she's like, I want my parents to be married. And that is hard to hear. It's hard to hear from the mouth of your children. And so it's like, okay, we cool. So since you do have to go back and forth, which parent would you like to live with? And Malia said, I want to live with the ice cream boy. The ice cream boy. So I'm as innocent as a counselor as she is. She's like, yeah, I know it's hard. You don't want to pick between your mom and dad. But if you had to, she was like, no, the ice cream boy, my dad. I want to stay with my dad. And so everyone else is like, I want to stay with Mel. The little boy, disrespect. That's your mama. I want to stay with my mom. I want to stay with my mom. The oldest one said. She was like, no, but it ain't that I don't want to stay with my mom, but my dad gave me the ice cream. We get the Rocky Road with the cookies and the cream and the ice cream. And what made that scene, because children speak the truth. They can't be coached into saying, kids can't be coached, but these kids were not. They were there speaking their truth. It was funnier because earlier in the episode, Martell was telling somebody, what the hell does Marcus and Troy know about being a daddy? It's so much more than just giving kids ice cream and cookies. And here your child called you the ice cream boy. Let's move on. Martell Jr. says he doesn't like to see his mother cry. And he was like, remember when you went to go get your clothes from dad and you came back crying and he was out there showing his complete ass and it really hurt your feelings? When I tell you, these kids, just from what I can see on camera, I can tell they hear and see and are absorbing everything that you're doing to their mother. And when they're old enough to watch this back, because this TV, this is going to be on the internet forever. Forever, ever. It's going to be on for a while. When they're old enough to watch this back and see the things you're saying about their mother, like, oh yeah, I cheated, but she cheated on me. I only cheated on her because she cheated on me. How you going to explain this baby to, what's the youngest, Melania? Is that her name? I don't know her name. But how are you going to explain this baby who is exactly 1 year younger? And you going to be like, oh, well, your mama cheated, so here's your little brother. These kids are going to hate you. The pain that you're putting on their mother, the woman that birthed them, it's nothing it's damn near, it's hard. Now, it's some stuff a mother can do to lose their children's love, but it's hard. And this little petty shit you talking about, you're hurting yourself more than you're ever hurting Melody. you're hurting the relationship you're going to have with your children. And I hope you watch this back, Martell, but I feel like you're so narcissist that you're gonna watch it back and be like, oh, she's turning my kids again. It's all you, your actions. Let's move on, because I'm telling you, the scene with the kids listening, and that oldest one, she definitely gonna need some counseling because she's an internalizer. And you know what Iyanla say about when you internalize, that stuff will come up out at the wrong time, the wrong place, in the wrong moment. You got to get those emotions out. She has to talk about this. And she's probably the one who understands it the most. She gonna get the understanding before the rest of them, because she eventually, I'm telling you, about 2 years. Oh, these kids learn about sex young. They learn about these birds and the bees and how babies are made young. She don't know what's up with why she got a little brother over here and my mama is crying over there. Let's move on. So Maurice is having a little scene where he's talking. They at the camping. Now I know I skipped a lot of the camping because I only care about this last scene. Maurice is explaining about Kimmy. He can't control Kimmy, and he not gonna make her retire anymore because he see how valuable she is as an essential worker. And I'm like, no, you just can't control your wife. The more I watch, because season 1, I was down for Maurice. I'm like, Maurice, how the hell are you so different from Marceau? Like, you were such a good husband. Da, da, da. I really was down for Maurice because I felt like he wasn't with this 1950s shit. Like, women need to cook and clean. But the more I watch Maurice, the more I see like he just like his brother. He's just not as vocal as Marceau, but he's just like Marceau. Because he says shit about, well, you the wife, you cook, clean, do the laundry. Like, if you listen to little stuff that Kimmy and when she talk about him, he's just like his damn brother. He's just not as vocal and disrespectful with his old-fashioned chauvinistic ways. You can't control your wife. You picked the wrong one. You should have picked you a Tisha. You picked the wrong one. You can't control her. You can't make her quit her job. So that's why you let it go. So they sitting around talking to Martell about the divorce. Do you think it'll be any reconciliation coming up? Like, if Mel was to take you back, do you think you could take her back? And he, in his mind, knows that it's over. And he was like, no, it's over. For the both of us, it's over. And Sadark brings up the rumor. Like, well, I didn't really think y'all would get a divorce. Like, it seemed like everything in social media died down until this baby rumor came out. And so Martell has to say, well, you know, Melanie the one to put that baby rumor out. I ain't put that out. And they was like, well, why would she do that? Well, you know, once I found out that Melanie cheated on me, and here we go with the boo. Like, you just can't be accountable for shit. You can't even be accountable for fucking and getting another girl pregnant. So Melanie cheated on you. Oh, let me pop a baby out. Like, no. Everything in this world is because Melanie cheated on you. But anyway, well, when I found out Melanie cheated on me, I told her about the baby. But the baby was there a couple of months ago. You just not telling her about it. And I told her about the baby, and she put it out there. Yeah, she blasted your ass because she was hurt. And I don't even recall, because I think I follow Mel, but I don't recall her blasting him. But maybe I just wasn't looking at Twitter that day. So they now asking, like, what is true? He was like, yeah, I really do have a baby coming. You sure it's yours? The timeline, based on the timeline, I think it might be man. Yeah, you know that's your fucking baby. Martell is so full of shit, but Sadark is full of shit. Maurice is full of shit, and Marceau. Because at some point they was talking about why did he cheat, and you know he went through his whole spiel of, well, Melanie wasn't fucking me, and Melanie wasn't sucking my dick like the way I like my dick sucked, so I guess I was wrong for going outside the house. Like, bitch, you know you was wrong. But all of them, that's why I love my friends, because they can be like, Angie, you were wrong for that. And it ain't no disrespect. You need no people in your corner. You can't be surrounded by yes people. But here they go. Well, yeah, I guess I understand. I mean, you ain't getting fucked at home. I mean, what your wife expect, you gonna go out and get it from somewhere. I'm like, no, that's not what the fuck it's about. All I'm gonna say is, Kimmy, watch your man, because Maurice looked like he was there for the shit. And in the confessional, he cleaned it up. In the confessional, he was like, yeah, you either gonna go out, you gonna suck it up, go out of your house, or you gonna leave. Two of those is wrong. Two of those is wrong. And I'm like, Kimmy, watch your man. Maurice looked like he here for the shit. And that was the end of the episode. That was the end of the episode. And yeah, that's the end of my notes. So that was a good 30 minutes. I think I talked a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I was kind of doing 2 episodes in one. But like I said, Carlos, this show is a hit. This show has the most natural, true drama. I don't see production in a lot of this. Next week, we're going to get to roast Tisha some more. Like, bitch, can we drive our own car in case one of us want to leave? Right then, I would have said, okay, Tisha, just stay at home. Just stay at home. Or, yeah, bitch, drive your car because you probably going to want to leave. I don't want to ride in the car with your ass anyway. Please drive your own car. Tisha going to work my nerve next week. Mars, it's too many Mars. Martell is going to break his mama's heart next week. That's going to be hard to watch. Like, I really think, Mom, you tried your best. You can't hold on to the actions of your children. Sometimes you could raise your children up to be the best that they can be, that you want them to be. And sometimes they just be full of shit. Anyway, that's it. That's it. A great show. I will be back. I will have my review on time next week. And I'll see y'all there. Get in the comments and let me know what y'all think. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed before too. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.